Polymerupdate is truly proud to host some of the brightest minds during Race Asia, Race Americas, and now for Race Europe.
We at Polymerupdate cannot help but wonder, what role will individual responsibility play in this new existence? Will we pride ourselves on becoming that perfect avatar in the Metaverse while unflinchingly tossing our plastics into the ocean in the real world, as we have been doing these past so many years? Will we stand tall and proud in this alternate virtual haven, showing off a make-believe version of how we want the world to perceive us, while continuing to buy, consume, and simply discard in a linear fashion in our physical world? These are all very real concerns, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope we can address it effectively in time to come.
Production of plastics is far outstripping our ability to recycle it. In both quantity and complexity, too much plastics is not being recycled or managed well.
There are a lot of goals that are tied for zero carbon footprint, lowering the amount of water that is consumed, increasing the level of recyclability of our materials. And as we go into these new areas, we are looking around trying to find out who are the industry leaders, who are those that have the knowledge we possess in order to make a meaningful advancement in a reasonable period of time. This isn't something that we can wait until 2100. This is something that we need to do now, and we need to do it effectively.
For once, sometimes we need to start with the why. Why are we doing this? Well, 8 billion kilograms of plastic waste flows into the ocean every single year. And that's the equivalent of 5 grocery bags of plastic trash sitting on every foot of coastline around the world. And this is what it looks like. It looks like this, which is 6 different gyres around the world where we have plastic waste.
There are some gaps in this chain that prevent us from having high recycling rates. One of those is between customer and collection, and this could be, it's just not put in the right recycling bin, it's put in the trash, or there's limited recycling infrastructure. Maybe your municipality can't recycle polyethylene bags or has no recycling whatsoever. These can cause major gaps that cause a lot of plastic to end up in landfills.
15% of the total plastic waste is estimated to be black in the US. Main problem we face is that nowadays this is not recyclable.
As always, additive from natural resources as well compromises and challenges. You have often to deal with some color or some discoloration due to double bonds or impurities. There are often mixtures like C16, C18 and byproducts in the composition and some impurities. And these depend often as well on naturally growing conditions.
The radical transparency in recycled plastics, which I believe has been something which I have encountered, which has come through to me through a lot of discussions I've had on the ground. I just felt that this is something which I think I should take it to our industry, to the brands, to the plastic processors, to the recyclers.
The legacy products where this product is present.
That was the history, but more and more there are demands coming up for special material.
I highly encourage you to be part of a positive change. Try to think of what you can do in your business to make plastic keep the value and don't lose it into our environment. Keep the plastics in the economy and out of the environment.
Demand that's going to be under pressure because supply simply cannot shift upwards. And whilst this is the Europe story at this point in time, it's, as I say, something we see across all polymers and emerging across all markets.
Right now, advanced solutions in recycling involve chemical recycling. The solutions in mechanical recycling are mechanical processing in a melt. And there's advanced solutions, which is this paper, combining mechanical and chemistry.
It is important to mention that both HDPE bottles with and without PPA were tested according to the ASTM method, where bottles were dropped from various heights. to test the condition of the world.
So let's start to race and fasten our seatbelts. The vision of campaign is to build a safer, zero waste society. We really want to contribute to eliminating all the waste in our world by actively participating to the circular economy.
The recycling of plastics coming from electronic waste is on top of the agenda, and even the Circular Plastic Alliance set a target of 10 million tons to be recycled by 2025.
It all starts with some raw materials. We generate plastic out of that. Then we go to an extruder, producing a compound, putting fillers, reinforcement, color, additives to the compound, and then finally it gets a product.
The key legislations that promote plastic recycling are extended producer responsibility, which has already been adopted by most of the countries across the world, and more countries are also adopting extended producer responsibility.